The interaction of the being with the environment gives the weight and measure that the being identifies as harmonious or with absence or limitation of harmony. Interactions with the environment demonstrate parasitic and symbiotic relationships. The author defines remedy and poison by the measure of the dosage of things consumed. The environment, as support for the expansion of consciousness, has been utilized in all forms. The discovery that the agent acting upon consciousness is the being itself, that everything is already within it, and that the use of external chemistry generates dependence and enslavement, through the exhaustion of the senses, and not through their expansion, is further certification of disharmonious and parasitic relationships with the environment. The environment provokes the being, and the being allows itself to be led to take possession of the rewards and gifts that the environment offers. To possess is another key to understanding. The being possesses nothing, and will possess nothing. The want, associated with possession, vulgarizes the action of wanting. There is no justification for this. The text is very clear, that the journey belongs to the being. Any relationship of possession is inhibitory to progress. The constructed environment will produce all forms of seduction to the inattentive traveler, to imprison them in the dependency of pain and pleasure. The sum of experiences, combined with explicit knowledge, brings answers as masterful guidance, which the attention and respect of the being must obey. The addiction to consumption, in disagreement with sufficiency, is notably poisonous and parasitic. The environment through which the being transits has the right measure. Any action outside of measure will bring results outside of measure. Harmony is one of the keys in the manifested universe, being therefore placed at its center and origin, guiding everything and everyone in the correct weight and measure. The text is emphatic, even in its simplicity and obviousness, as it is a summary of the knowledge itself. Furthermore, the book and the very path demonstrate the self-sufficiency of the being. It has already been perceived that, upon opening one's eyes, one is on the path, and that there is no point of entry or exit, but rather adaptations, convergences, and correspondences. Dream and reality always reflect the same ideas. Everything corresponds to the same principle. It is already known that changes of state place the being in new states of perception, which are relative to the being's own state. Vibratory movement can be rhythmic or not, demonstrating the flow of changes, with or without control of the being. Vibration, bringing to a more appropriate vision of this treatise, can be chaotic and without control or harmony. The traveler becomes a traveler, not when they begin the journey, but when they realize they are already on the path. Flashes of consciousness, while not awakening it, occur constantly through signals, more or less intense, more or less clear, and sometimes, more or less dramatic. Consciousness, which is in a body that is too imprisoning, generally avoids drama, or involvement with this body of emotions, which is where illusion deflects the being. Through this body, occur all provocations and fantasies, that generate attachments for stays in altered states. The being can even be led to extremes of unnatural alterations. Glimpses of recognition of one's inner nature, and of the work of transformation, can confuse, through deviation through the body of emotions, a being who is not adequately prepared, or sufficiently strengthened. The superficiality of the generation of marks, exchanges, alterations, or coverings in dense bodies, denounce the incongruity, and cause the being to present itself with an illusory appearance that does not hide the being itself. External transformations will never contribute to the being in its journey, and will only hinder the being on the path. It is quite common to identify these steps as deviations. The text does not condemn anything or anyone for attitudes, whether apparently extreme or not. The text is consequent in wisdom, being simply a light to the traveler. The thinking universe is the interior of a traveler producing the ideas of that universe. It is to this being that the text will always speak.